Hey you guys, Danny here. I mentioned in my last video about the YouTube crash that I was going to come on and tell you guys about some very exciting news. A secret, if you will. And I've been trying to film other videos all day today and I just can't get my mind to work like I want it to. So I figure now is a great time to spill the beans. So my patrons already know this little secret I'm about to tell, but I'm ready to tell you guys. It's a little scary. I don't know, it's not scary. It's a little nerve-wracking. But I feel like the more I say it out loud, the more solidified it is. Thunder. And the more real that makes it. And that's more accountability, right? Have you guessed it yet? I'm creating a tarot deck. It's in the very baby stages right now. But I will say it's been on my mind for a few years. I scared myself out of it last year, but I've made a commitment this year to not overwhelm myself with the who, what, when, where of the future, and just focus on the here and now. And the here and now is creating art for a tarot deck. I will show you guys my first 3 cards that I've created that are finished. Now, I reserve the right to go back and change. Will I? Probably not, because I'm in this space right now where I say, when I'm done, I'm done. And unless there's something crazy extra or my mind says no, I feel like right now these are set. As I go, I'm doing it until I am happy in my space, and then I am moving on. So right now I have 3 finished cards. My major arcana have been accounted for. And that's as far as I'm going right now. I'm only focusing on my major arcana at the moment. Again, my patrons know this. They have been with me from the time I decided to share this with them. They have been with me on that journey as I have created my finished products. And I show them a lot of behind the scenes, and I'll explain as I show the cards a little bit about how I am creating them. Although if you want the whole scoop, I do explain all that on Patreon. So if you're interested in following along my tarot journey, that's where all the juice is going to be. Every once in a while, I'll keep you guys updated when I complete a major goal, as well as some stuff you may see on Instagram. So without further ado, I will show you where my deck is. It has no name. It's no name deck right now. Again, we're just creating art right now. I have started backwards. Why? I have no idea, because that's where I felt like I needed to start. So that's where I've been. Now I say that I have my major arcana accounted for. Here's what I mean. This is my world card. So my deck is going to be based on images, etchings, and wood carvings from the 15 and 1600s. So what I do is I go in and I alter the illustration. Sometimes it's a little and sometimes it's a whole lot. And then I get it to where I want it digitally. Then I print it out on my watercolor paper, and then I do mixed media art on top of that. So that is my world card. This is my judgment. I'm not going to get too close because it's really hard to see, and it's only going to get kind of choppy and messy. This is my judgment. There's a lot of hidden things in here, a lot of stuff that I've done to add layer and meaning. Even though it may look like a bunch of chaos, it's very intentional chaos. And then you'll see this here, my sun card. So like I said, these are my 3 completed cards. And I wanted to make sure that the gold I was using, because I did use a lot of gold, especially on my Judgment here. You can see that nice and shiny gold. I wanted to make sure that this would still come across in a printed, I know it's not going to be shiny gold foil. I don't think so. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. You never know. I'm not going that far. Don't rush me. Don't overwhelm me. But I wanted to make sure that in a flat scan and print that it was still going to work, because I wasn't going to go, 20 cards in and be like, oh no. So I did do some prints. This is my print. As you can see, the gold still, you can still tell that there's gold here. And then my Judgment, which I love the way it came out in printed form. I really, really do. This, you can see some of my finer details going on. Now, you may say like, oh, you just took some pictures and did some stuff over it. Yes and no. I do create these pieces out of original art pieces from the 1500s. However, some are altered a lot and some are altered a little. Now I may put some after I talk about this. Some of the pictures that my patrons see, I'll do 1 or 2 of them that they've seen thus far. This being one of them. It just so happens that I had it printed out on the back before I decided to do some more alterations to it. And this is part of the Judgment card. So you will see what this being has in its hand here, the horse here as the major features. But if you turn it around to the final creation, he's only got a torch in his hand. There is no horse, and there is a bigger look at the coffin. So something like this takes me hours to do. I go piece by piece and inch by inch, changing pixels and doing my thing in a digital paint 3D. I don't do Photoshop. I'm not skilled at Photoshop, but I am skilled in Paint 3D because it's something that I learned in high school and something I've been doing since high school. So that's where I've started. I am going to be posting a lot of behind the scenes stuff on my Patreon. So if you want to follow along on this tarot journey with me, I do have that linked below. I'll also link up in the cards, whichever place that is. I'll be sure to link up in the cards my video that talks about how my Patreon works. It's an open Patreon as far as like the amounts go and versus the things that you get. You'll see. I'll link it. There I am going, like I said, painstakingly through and showing you guys what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. I will even have a video that I'm working on right now that's going to show how I am altering and like in real time what I do to alter these old photos, old drawings. So that's my big news. I'm really excited. I hope you get excited just like me. I really look forward to doing this art, and I really hope that it pans out and I can create a deck. There are so many things that run through my mind of how it's gonna go and what it's gonna look like and what the finished product will be, but at this point I really am in the beginning stages. My goals are Major Arcana, Court cards, then the minors. I will say I am very much toying around with the idea of 2 separate minors. I am considering a Marseille style, Pip style, and an RWS style. I am also considering, as I go, offering prints of some of my art on my Etsy shop. So what I ask of you guys is, I would like your input as well. Would you like to see a Marseille or Pip? I want to say Marseille, I don't know why. Just because that's the main one that pops into my head when we talk about these things. Do you want a Pip style deck, an RWS style, or both? I want to hear from you. Let me know what your thoughts are, because I'm always considering these things. I go back and forth in my head. Again, I don't know where this is going to lead me. I don't know at all what I'm getting into. Right now, we're going to be hanging out on Patreon, just working through the art and starting from there. And then from there, we'll see where I need to go. If I need to go to Kickstarter, if I need to go elsewhere, we'll see. Again, I'm just making art. So as to not overwhelm myself. But let me know what you think about that, because I do want to get everyone's opinion on that. And I also want to know your opinion of whether or not you think doing prints of the art, is that something that you'd like to see in the Etsy shop? That is linked below as well. So I'm open for these ideas. I hope you're as excited as I am. And I will talk to you all very soon. Keep an eye out. I'm going to be filming and putting up my tarot magic in the next day or so. I'm also going to be doing my May wrap up. And of course, Walkthrough Wednesday is coming. So I will see all you beautiful souls very, very soon. Later, Gators.